What's up? Welcome back to the Currency Club. I'm Whitney Styles, and today's special guest is Cam, and Cam is the owner of 24K Gold Coffee. What's up, Cam?
Yeah, what's up? It's your boy Cam. Born in Kazoo, raised in Kentwood. Grand Rapids is my home, GR, Michigan. I help coach wrestling, do a little taekwondo on the side. Like to do a little salsa bachata dancing lately. I just like to live life, have a little fun. I'm in sales, and I roast coffee, and I'm really good at roasting coffee.
And that's what we are here to talk about today, him roasting coffee. So let's get into the business. Talk to us about 24K Gold Coffee. When did you start? What type of products and services do you offer? Why did you get into this business?
Pandemic comes, we at the crib. Everybody picks up a new hobby. I just happened to pick up roasting coffee as my hobby. I wanted to make a perfect cup of coffee, a smooth cup of coffee, because the coffee I was drinking was not hitting the spot. So I had to just get in a rabbit hole, started researching everything about the coffee, beans, Nicaragua, Mexico, Brazil, all the different countries they're at. And then I got the beans, got a little small roaster, a little $70 roaster off of Amazon. I still got it. I call it my grandpa roaster, my OG roaster, and started roasting coffee at home. So listen, if you want to roast your own coffee, you can do it. If you need help, I can help you. Hit me up, Cam at 24kgoldcoffee.com. I got you. I hope you get started because basically you take the bean from green to brown. And then once it's brown, once it hits that crack, you let it air out. It's ready to drink, right? And there's nothing better than fresh roasted coffee. A lot of the stuff you see on the shelves today is 6 months to a year old. Fresh coffee is really the new move. Started making coffee, obviously burn a couple beans to start, right? Batch after batch after batch. And then I got a really good blend, right? Came out with my signature blend, Taza Oro, which features Mexico, Nicaragua, Brazil, 3 countries in 1 cup. Made a nice blend, started selling bags to all my friends and family, but then I needed to ship it across state, so I had to get legit. So I had to go get my license, partnered up with the Incubator Kitchen at the Downtown Market. Shout out to the Downtown Market, Ryan and team. They helped me get the logo going, helped me kind of dial in my whole operation, helped me get it going. So I go down there and I roast. I usually roast at night because I have a full-time job, and it really is relaxing, right? Because you roast that coffee and you kind of watch it from start to finish. Green all the way to brown, light brown, dark. Definitely a passion. And I get it. A lot of people, they're like, well, why coffee? I don't drink coffee, right? But it's probably you had a bad cup. Once you have a good cup of coffee, then it changes your outlook on coffee, right? And I love to convert people that are afraid of coffee, scared of coffee, and turn them into a coffee drinker, right? Once you have that 24K Gold coffee, you're going to like coffee. Coffee is the one product that's a global product, right? You get the beans from the farmer, then they usually get it to a supplier, and then they get them to a roaster like myself. I roast it, bag it up, tag it up, and then I sell it to my partners. Shout out to Bridge Street Market. Shout out to Southeast Market. My girl Odessa, Kara, Alita, Miss Kelly, the legend. Of course, 24kgoldcoffee.com, right? My website, direct from me, is the best way to go, right? I love it because, like I said, I ship to my friends, my family, my customers across the world. Shout out to David Wiltshire in the United Kingdom, my first global buyer who bought my coffee out in London town. What's up? Yo, we international now. But listen, the reason
you saying a lot. Sir, you're saying so much. I can't even get a question in.
You got me going.
What type of products and services do you offer, right? Because I know you talked about your signature blend, but you have more than one blend. So let's start there. Let's talk about the blends.
2 flavors. So let's start with the signature blend, La Taza Oro. Okay, La Taza Oro means the golden cup in Spanish. So I want you to have that golden cup of coffee every morning. It's got beans from Mexico, Brazil, Nicaragua. Perfect ratio. Secret recipe. I'm the only one with this blend, right? It's light, it's nutty, delicious, and it's kind of a gold in your cup. The color comes out a little bit gold too. What I do, every bag, sprinkle a little 24 karat edible gold on top, give it that golden touch. And it's definitely cool to, open your bag and your grounds and see a little gold on top. Makes you feel a little bit better. Get you that golden cup. It's all about luxury coffee at an affordable price, right? So that's La Taza Oro. And then, of course, I've got my Colombian Supremo. Just 1 bean. That's all you need. All you need is a Colombian. Comes from the Huila region in Colombia. Volcanic soil is what makes the bean so tender. High altitudes. I apologize to the people in Colombia right now because my packaging has a U in Colombia. And Colombia is Colombia. There's no U in Colombia. And I got cussed out by all the Latin ladies from Colombia. So lo siento. It's mi culpa. Okay? That's my bad. I got new labels Apparel's on the way, but I already put the money in, so I got to run them first.
Nobody proofread your packaging?
I'm a one-man show, so I do the marketing, the labeling, the roasting.
So most entrepreneurs on this show are one-man band, one-person show, however we want to call it. Well, look, do you offer any other products? Because I feel like when we started the interview, you were sipping out of a cup.
Oh, yes, I do.
I feel like I've seen some other products and or merch.
The coffee tastes even better out of a 24K Gold coffee cup. But listen, the cups are available on my website. Not only do I have coffees in bags, but I have them in coffee and K-cups, coffee pods for your convenience. So not only can I make your coffee coarse ground, that's for your French press, even for your cold brew. So you want to make cold brew, you want to order it from me coarse ground. If you want your drip, your pour over, you want to order it medium ground. And if you want to order it out of your espresso machine, you just order it fine. And if you want to grind it yourself to whatever your level, I will send it to you whole bean and you can grind it at home. Obviously, you get the guaranteed freshness if it's ground right before you make it. 3 different grind types you can get. You just let me know what you need. I roast all the coffee to medium. Right now, I just make the beans, package the beans, and sell the beans. The pods are a big hit at Bridge Street Market. It's hard to keep them on the shelf, so I appreciate all the support. So definitely the K-Cups are a big hit. Right now, I am rolling out a coffee service that's going to be coming out, so I'll be able to set up at people's businesses and sell by the cup. But there's a whole different layer of licensing and requirements before I can do that. So I got to get the funding for that, get approvals for that, and then I'll be able to, obviously I'm going to need a team to do that as well. So I am scouting some talent right now to build a team up so that I'll be able to do coffee service in the future. But right now, just beans, delivered to your doorstep, free delivery in Grand Rapids.
So you mentioned licensing. What are some of the requirements to, create a product like this?
Got to have a good product. Start there. Got to have good feedback from everybody. Get a plan, work with people. Can't do it by yourself. You need feedback. I know people hate to hear their ideas aren't good enough or they need to tweak their ideas, but listen, there's an old saying, feedback is a gift. So if somebody's giving you feedback, accept it. You don't have to do everything they say, but just understand that they're coming from somewhere. And if it's a place of love, then they're trying to help you. That's even better. You get that feedback, you kind of make changes along the process. Obviously, you got to get your numbers right, figure out your costs. That's important because a lot of people jump in and they don't know costs really well. Like me, my costs were way off the board. I wasn't factoring in kitchen costs. I wasn't factoring in labor or anything like that. So I really had to make those adjustments. So you got your product, you got your cost, and then how am I going to get it out to the marketplace? Really, networking is fantastic. Marketing, however you can. Take $10 to go get you a box of cards from Vistaprint. Get you some cards, get your name out there. And then if you want to be legit, you're going to need to get a barcode. So go to gs1.org, get you a barcode, $30 for a barcode. You got to come up with your label. Go to canva.com, get you a label. You can do Adobe, Photoshop, whatever you want to do. Make your label, print your label out. You just got to have all the right disclaimers. You got to have ingredients and all that, et cetera, et cetera. Work with your local inspector on that. But you got to get a license. So somebody's got to come watch you cook. They got to see your packaging. They got to see your standard operating procedures. And before you're able to get licensed, you will need to take your ServSafe certification. So especially in food products. So I got my ServSafe, which is good for 5 years. Basically quizzes you on, what's safe for food, what's not safe for food. And a lot of it comes down to people got to wash your hands. If you're not washing your hands, you're going to get somebody sick. And you just got to get certified, and then they watch you, inspect you. You got to be in the commercial kitchen, obviously, where you can make sure everything stays clean. Then you get your permit. You got to get business insurance. You can get business insurance for like $25 a month. You got to have a place to store your product, depending on who you partner with. There's a cost there. So you really got to add that all up, right? Because the moment you decide I want to turn this into a legitimate business is the moment it starts costing you money. Be ready to make that money back, right? It's not like, I'm in business and then the sales just come, right? A lot of the sales that have come on my end have been direct to consumer, right? Face to face. Like I don't do a lot of commercials right now, not yet. I don't do a lot of ads. So a lot of it is shaking hands, being at events, working tables, table days, to go and get you a little table from Walmart, $69 special. Go get you a tablecloth from Vistaprint for $200. Eventually you start adding more stuff. Buy a tent, $150. The best advice I can give is just to start. One thing you can do if you want to make food is look up Michigan's cottage food laws, because there's a lot of food you can sell from your house legally under cottage food. So obviously look up the different requirements on that. So that's how I got started selling coffee, is through cottage food, because you're allowed to roast coffee at your house and sell it from the home under cottage food laws. But like I said, if you want to ship international or ship out of state, you need to have an actual license for that. I'm licensed through MDARD. That's my licensing agency. There's, the full food department or whatever for the full licensing if I wanted to sell by the cup. So I need to have a separate license for that. So definitely it's good to have guidance. That's why I say I want to shout out to Incubator Kitchen, my boy Ryan Bullheist down there, helped me get me in the right direction, get all the information I needed to get started.
But do you remember how much the cost was to get licensed to sell coffee and package it and ship it out of state?
It was like, to get your inspection was like $400, $450, and you got to do it every year. My renewal's coming up soon, so I gotta sell some coffee so I can pay for that renewal, right?
If someone else wanted to follow in your footsteps and start a coffee business, give me an estimate of the roundabout startup cost, because you mentioned a lot. You talked about, first off, the logo. You talked about getting licensed. You talked about a ServSafe certification. You ain't even really touch on the actual inventory and the products and how you had to buy that stuff and all the equipment. But can you give me an idea of like roundabout startup cost?
You can start small and make it happen. Like I said, I started with my OG roaster, my grandpa roaster, for $69. Then I had to get a grinder for another $70. Had to get some beans, which was like $100 and change. Labels was like, so I mean, you can start for under $500. Get your business cards and everything like that. You can start a business for $500. If you want to start a legit business, it's probably gonna run you about $15,000 in your first year. That's just about what it hit me for. Basically, I scaled up. So I started with a small roaster. Then I bought a second roaster. Then I bought a third roaster. Then I bought a fourth roaster and a fifth roaster. So now I currently run 4 small roasters. So I roast everything in small batches. I can roast about 10 pounds an hour. When I first started, it was only about 2 pounds an hour. You constantly got to reinvest your money. Like, I could have just took that money and said, no, I'm not going to buy anything else with it. But if you're borrowing the money, there's that expense that you got to pay back interest. If you put it on a credit card, now you got to pay interest on that too. So you just got to be careful, right? It's better to build it up over time, but eventually it's going to be a time where you're going to need to make an investment to get some better equipment. Ultimately, that's going to save on cost. So when I first started packaging my K-Cups, it took me hours to box up a bag of 12 because I was literally weighing up coffee pods on my golden scale to get it to 12 grams, sealing the top, putting it in a box, sealing the top, putting it in a box, weighing it every time, right? Sealing the top's not the hard part, but weighing every one was hard, because if I say I'm gonna give you 12 grams, I want to give you 12 grams. I'm not going to short you. That would take me hours. So I had to go get a K-Cup filling machine that does the weighing for me. It does 12 grams, 12 grams, 12 grams. So now I can do a box in 5 minutes where before it was a few hours. Definitely invest in equipment, get it better over time, keep improving, keep investing in the business. That way you can handle those increased sales when your business grows. That's what I'm working on right now. Like, I could have been trying to get all these different accounts, but if I would have had all these different accounts, I wouldn't have the capacity to handle all that, right? So don't get too big too fast. Make sure you can handle all that. Yeah, you can go get a deal with Walmart. Fantastic. But if they put in a PO for 10,000 pounds, I can't handle it. You know what I mean? So you got to be able to know what you can do and what you can work with.
Sometimes people have a goal to start a business and they just want exponential growth to happen overnight. Right. But at the same time, they're not even prepared for if that growth happens. They don't have the team. They can't manage it. They don't have the experience. They don't have the inventory, whatever. So that was a really good caution that not many people talk about on the show.
And that's from experience too, right? I'm a serial entrepreneur. Before I did this, I did a little t-shirt business. I had chiliation.com. Shout out. Then I did a little bit of DJing on the side. You know, I was the first pandemic DJ. For the record, I started going live before anybody else was doing all that. That was me. I was the OG DJ campaign in the building. I like to, start businesses. I had a little candy business back in the day. I get that entrepreneurial spirit from my grandma. Shout out Barbara Ann Whitmore in the building. Back in the day, she used to do sewing. She was always hustling to make $1. I wanted to make a business. A few of my friends were in coffee. Shout out to my boy David Paul, Bold and Gritty. Back in the day, I used to work at a cell phone shop, and right next door was a Big B Coffee. Tim Hoffman owned it. I got tight with Tim. Now Tim's got like so many different coffee locations. He's making so much money off of coffee.
All right, let's get into the money. How do you make money from this? I understand it's a physical product. I understand that you have partnerships. Your products are in different stores, but let's talk about how you make money from this.
First of all, don't quit your day job until you can afford it. Shout out to Randy Otterbridge. $450 a day is my goal. If I could sell $450 a day in coffee, that's $150,000 a year. Boom. hey, I can say goodbye to my day job, right? But it's going to take a long way until I can make that money, right? So you really got to factor in, okay, how much is it costing me? How much can I sell it for, right? But you can't price it too high where people won't buy it. I like to give people deals. So when I first came out with coffee, I was selling it like $7.77 a bag. I was losing money left and right. I just wanted to see if I could get the sales, right? Okay, boom, I was selling. Okay, now let's try $8.88. Okay. As I kind of got the cost figured out and everything like that, it's $12.12 a bag. 12 is my birthday, December, Sagittarius in the building. December 12th, 12 plus 12 is 24. And of course, 24 karat gold is the best coffee. Every bag has 24 karat edible gold sprinkled on top for that golden touch, right?
Real quick, you sound like you just randomly make up prices. Most people, when they start a business, they figure out the cost, right? What are the cost of goods? What is my labor? How much is it for shipping materials? Okay, this is my, baseline cost, just bare minimum cost. And then most people either double it or triple it to make their margin. But you sound like you're just pulling numbers out the sky, respectfully. So I just want to have this conversation. I like your, birth month. I like where you're going with this 24. I like that, but it sounds like there's no science behind your pricing.
You know what?
Correct me if I'm wrong.
There's not. I'm not trying to get rich. I'm trying to get everybody on the best coffee. I can raise my prices later. Raising prices is easy. Right now, I want everybody to be able to enjoy some good coffee at an affordable price. Am I making buku dollars right now? Nah.
Not yet.
This is my side hustle. This is something I do for fun. Also, there is some research behind it. You got to be able to test the market, right? So one of the benefits of being able to sell face-to-face is what pricing will stick. I can say $15 a bag. Okay, yeah, it's 15. And nobody buys it. Guess how much I made in sales, right? 0, right? But if I say 12, it's going to sell for 12. I want to make as much money as I can, right? But there's something that's about volume too versus just I only want to sell, 2 or 3 units at a higher price. There's competitors that sell their coffee at a much higher price point. There's people that sell it at a lower price point. So I like to be in the middle. So most places you get an 8-ounce bag is $6 to $8. So me being at $12.12 is already at a premium price. If I don't make as much money, then I don't make as much money. It's really for the love of coffee. I like $12.12. That's my price point. I'm sticking to it. I'll get my cost down so that way I can keep it at $12.12. Right now, if I order 50 pounds, the cost goes down. If I order 100 pounds, 200 pounds, obviously my costs will go down. So the goal is to get the cost down, but I also don't want to alienate my target market. Especially if somebody that's new to coffee, they're willing to try something for $12, but they wouldn't necessarily want to try something for $28.
You have your website listed here in the kind of name box, the description box here, 24kgoldcoffee.com. But tell us where else we can find your coffee.
Bridge Street Market, Southeast Market, and 24kgoldcoffee.com. So I'm working on getting into a few small coffee shops in town. I also do events, so that's the best way to catch me live. I always give out free samples. You're going to love it.
How did you get your product into stores? Bridge Street Market, Southeast Market.
If you want to get started in business, I recommend partnering with your entrepreneurship organizations. Grand Rapids is blessed to have a few different organizations. There's Start Garden that help you get started. There's Amplify GR. There's Spring GR. So there's a lot of different organizations that can really help you get your business to the next level. I started with Amplify. Started talking to some different folks on there. They gave me some names of people I can connect with. They said, hey, you should go talk to Alita at Southeast Market. So I talked to Alita. She was actually my first account. So shout out to Southeast Market and Alita for giving me a chance to a young black man walking through with a bag of coffee. Got on the shelf there. Odessa, Kara, fantastic. Love you ladies down there. They do really good work down there for the community, especially on the Southeast side, representing 49507. It's really just networking, and it's really about timing. You got to be at the right time at the right place. I happen to go to Spring GR, just looking for somebody I can talk to. Ran into Paul down at Spring GR. I said, I got this coffee, man. It's here. It's ready. I'm trying to get going. He says, listen, man, let me give you this email. Let me give you the email. It's a store director at Bridge Street Market. They're looking for entrepreneurs, people of color. And I said, okay, bet. So I sent the email. Got to be able to be professional. Got to be able to follow up. Got the meeting set. Once you get the meeting set, you got to come ready. So I came ready. So I came with my coffee beans, to my 2 flavors, Colombian Supremo, my Taza Oro, had the beans ground, had my packaging ready. I went back there with the cups, the creamer, everything, and I made fresh coffee for the whole store, all the staff. I was in the back pouring up coffee. Got out with my boy Kevin. Kevin was like, man, some good coffee. You know what? I'm going to get you in the portal right now. I said, I like that. not like that. So sometimes you just gotta go for the gusto, right? Ask for the sale and hey, boom, you get it closed, right? I was able to get in the system, get loaded in, onboarded and all that stuff. And then I was able to, have my SKUs loaded into their system, their vendor system. And after a bag sells there, they do scan-based trading, which is fantastic to help small businesses get started. As a bag sells, a couple weeks later, you do get a payout sent to your account. So it's fantastic getting, little deposits from Meyer, so shout out to Meyer, shout out to Bridge Street Market. It's definitely great. They've been a great partner. I did a Black History Month event there just recently. Talk to people, network, because you never know who's going to give you the email, who's going to give you the card you need to get to the next level. I just happen to be at the right place, the right time. Once you get that opportunity, you got to run with it.
Okay, so you just gave a lot of tips for marketing and how to get your product in front of customers, but is there anything else? One other tip you might give for attracting a new customer?
You have to have a sell sheet. A sell sheet is a piece of paper, a little PDF that says, this is how much I'm willing to sell it for. This is how much your margins are going to be. Kind of get an idea of how much you're willing to wholesale it for. My costs were really out of line in the beginning. I was charging below cost on a lot of my stuff when I was trying to wholesale products. I was actually losing money. Definitely got to be careful with how much you're setting your wholesale price for, because you still got to be able to be sustainable, right? Figuring out those costs is important. And then having that sell sheet, being able to say, okay, this is how much I'm going to sell it to you for, and this is how much you can retail it for, and that's you're going to make X, Y, and Z.
We learned a lot about you during the first half of this interview, but now I want to switch it up and play a little game. This game is called I'm a Hustler. Okay. So what is the craziest thing you've ever done for money? We heard you were a DJ. We heard you had a t-shirt business.
Listen, I've done some strange things for some change. I'm just kidding. No, I listen. I just work. That's the strangest thing I've done. I clock in and out. Even when I'm sick and I'm tired, I show up to work. Anybody who knows about me is my work ethic, right? I'm showing up. What kind of question is that?
It's a wonderful question.
Oh, see for the fans, man. Is this Vlad TV?
No, it's not. I promise it's not.
You gotta get me set up with ops.
So what has been your biggest challenge with running this business?
Obviously, marketing, right? You got to get people to your business, get people to buy on repeat basis from your business. You got to keep customers, right? You got to set the price point right so that they're willing to come back and repurchase. You're trying to get a piece of market share from, industry that's a $1 billion industry. A lot of competitors, right? Everybody wants to get in it, right? So I don't want the whole market share. I don't want the whole piece of the pie. I just want a slice, right? So if I can get a slice of that $1 billion market, I'll be doing just fine.
If you could do it all over again, would you do anything differently?
Oh yeah, definitely figure out my cost like right away, like ASAP. Because I took a little bit too much time figuring that out, and that wasn't so good. Like you said, I should have figured out my costs, figured out how much I wanted to make per bag, and then set the price point, right? But a lot of I did was trial and error, right? You only learn from making mistakes, right? So I got no problem the way I did it. To be honest, would I do anything different? Nah, because it led me to today. Everything happens for a reason. Even if you don't understand a reason originally, you live through it, you learn from it, and you just kind of move on.
Yeah, and we all learn from doing. I feel like it's ridiculous to think you're going to get everything right the first time around, or that you're going to be a perfectionist, because you're not. I want to switch it up and play another game now. And this game is called For the Culture. You love the games. You just get so much energy when I bring up the love the games. What is your favorite Black-owned business?
Malamaya Juice, Jamel Eddie, doing a lot of good things for the community. Like I said, shout out to David Paul, Bold and Gritty Coffee. Shout out to my boy Eric, Last Mile Cafe. Great businessman, great coffee. Shout out to Odessa, Southeast Market. Shout out to Kara, Alita. Shout out to my boy Justin from doing the vegan cookies. Shout out to Candied Yam. Shout out to Southern Smoke while we at it, right? There's so many Black businesses in GR that are doing big things, and they just got to keep going. I just wish them all the best. Shout out to Mama D with the barbecue sauce. Summertime, I'm at Sandman's. I'm getting rib tips from Sandman's. It's on 28th Street, right in front of the rent-to-own.
My friend Darius is going to love this. He always plugging Sandman's. Darius from the Jungle as Hell.
Shout out to Stock the Bar. Hold on. Shout out to Motu Vijay. Shout out to my boy Jelks. Shout out to Jamil Robinson with the Grand Rapids area Black businesses. We got so many, influential Black people that's really trying to put Grand Rapids on the map right now. I just like to show love wherever I can. Cam always going to pull up. I'm always going to have a good time. I'm always going to be smiling. So
what is your favorite TV show or series or movie with a predominantly Black cast?
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air obviously was a classic.
Did you watch the new Bel-Air?
The new Bel-Air goes hard.
Exceeded my expectations.
I'm an OG. All right, you want to talk about Black movies? The Wiz.
Take it back then.
He's on down the road. Hey, Michael, they had everybody in that. All the classics. Belly? What you mean? Some people don't know the hood classics. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, how you not know the hood class? How you not know Coming to America? How you don't know Belly? How you don't know? Like,
don't be a menace.
Don't be a menace.
Boys in the hood.
Obviously, all the OG movies, right? They got some movies in GR that's popping too. So
they do.
Shout out to Marcel Gamble. That's all I know. So look him up. Look him up in credits. He might pop up on Tubi for you. There you go.
All right. So now we're going to bring the attention back to you and your business, 24K Gold Coffee. What is your greatest accomplishment related to your business?
Greatest accomplishment, obviously, was getting into on the shelves in 2 vendors so far. Southeast Market, my first vendor. Never forget that place. Bridge Street Market, obviously, was a great accomplishment getting in there. Having my own website has been fantastic. Being able to sustain since 21 to 23 and stay in business and actually have my business pay its own bills is definitely an accomplishment. When I first started, I had to pump money in, so I don't have to invest my own money into the business anymore. So that's a big accomplishment. There's more to come. Shout out to U.S. Black Chambers certifying me as a Black-owned business. Definitely good to have a certification. I'm working on more certifications. My biggest accomplishment is when I hand somebody a cup of my coffee and I'm at the events and they say, "Oh, this is good coffee." That makes me feel good, right? When you make a good product and people can say, "Yeah, I like that," right? That's what it's all about.
All right, so you have good energy and you seem to be a very happy person, but I know every day is not a good day. So if you were in a bad mood, what song would instantly put you in a good mood?
Listen, if you're tired, man, put on that Rihanna Work, though. Work. Suavemente, come on, I'm going hard. Suavemente. You know, I like that. Funny story. I don't know my dad. I grew up with my mom, my grandma. So I thought my whole life, I was like, man, I'm Hispanic. I'm the hardest working Puerto Rican man in America, right? I used to say that back in high school, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Took Spanish classes, did study abroad in Costa Rica, study abroad in Spain, right? Thought I was Hispanic. Ancestry DNA come out. They're like, nah, bro, you 0% Spanish. You are Black and Lithuanian, cuz. I'm like, damn. So anyway, but I love the culture. Shout out to the culture. Shout out to all my people. But that's just a funny story. I forgot your questions.
The original question was, what song or album instantly put you in a good mood?
Put on the T Grizzly first day out.
Tell the viewers why they should subscribe to the Currency Club.
You should subscribe to the Currency Club because Whitney Styles is the queen bee. All right. She holding down Houston right now, but she really from Kentwood. You know, she representing. She talking about money. She giving people advice. She giving people tips. She's trying to hold down the culture. So you got to support your girl. She got great content. Obviously, she got great guest stars that come on the show and add a little swag to the show. So please subscribe, like, share, tell your friends.
All that. Tell a friend to tell a friend. So thank you so much for your time, your energy, sharing your knowledge, insights, resources with the world. Hey. We are really coming to the end of the interview. Leave the viewers with an inspirational message.
If you want to do a business, just do it. All right. The only thing you learn is from experience. And life is experience best teacher, right? Just getting out there and just doing your thing. And you're going to make mistakes, but you got to keep going, right? Keep showing up. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Get after it.
So with that being said, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the club, and we will see you next time.